Good morning, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about why you should find an unbiased person to help you with supercar purchases, or any big car purchase for that matter.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is my garage, and that is my GT40, which I love that car. One of the things that happens in the supercar world is when you're trying to buy a supercar, especially for first-time buyers, there's a lot of data and information, and sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. And here's the thing that, well, let's get real for a second, dudes. We're dudes. We're manly men.
We're men in tights. We roam around the forest looking for fights.
And we don't like to really express our emotions and things like that. We like to be tough and I can do this myself and blah, blah, blah. And we don't like asking for help. Well, hate to tell you guys, but deep down, most of us still have emotions and other things, and they can cloud our judgment. And when you're making a very expensive purchase, something that maybe you've been dreaming about since you were a kid, it is a very emotional experience, and you can get kind of wrapped up in the moment and make a bad decision. Why am I talking about this? Well, first of all, we offer a consultation service. So yes, that is my primary motivation, is I'm trying to convince you guys to hire us to help you with your supercar purchases. So you can do that at normalguysupercar.com. Go check out our consultation services. We've helped literally hundreds of people now, many hundreds of people. And Josh and I have gone and checked out hundreds and hundreds of Ferraris. Why is that relevant? Well, we kind of know what we're talking about. And here's the other thing is, because you're paying us, we're unbiased. We don't have emotions attached to this transaction. In fact, that's the best part, is it's completely unemotional to us, is we're just looking at the facts and giving you the best data. So the idea from this video actually came from one of our recent clients. So we were helping someone purchase a Ferrari, and they hired a consultation services, and they found this Ferrari, and it seemed to be an okay deal. It wasn't a screaming deal, it was just a good deal. And they, reached out to us and said, hey, can you inspect it and blah, blah. And so we did kind of a phone consultation. We looked at the data that we could from remote. We didn't actually go look at the car in person, which we offer both things. We can talk to you over the phone, emails, texts, or we can actually go look at it in person if that's something that you want to do. And of course, then you have travel expenses and stuff. So it gets more expensive, but in some cases it's worth it, in other cases it's not. So we start discussing the car and discussing the deal and the price, and the car has some strange stuff show up on its history. Now, none of it was like catastrophic or things that are like immediate, like back out now, but they were things that made Josh and I concerned. So Josh and I were both looking at this one, and we were both like, ugh, we just wanted certain things answered by the seller before this person bought that car. So we said, hey, here's the situation. In our opinion, like, it's not a screaming deal, it's an okay deal, but there's a couple of red flags that we need to just get sorted before we would say this is a car you should buy. We kind of presented our thoughts on the car, our opinions on the car, and he was a little bit resistant. He kind of was like, oh, but I really like this car. I want this deal to go forward, and this car makes sense to me, and blah blah. And to us, it kind of was obvious that he was emotionally attached to this car, even though he hadn't bought it. And he was, I wouldn't say ignoring, but he was not taking what we were saying, the full weight of it, and accepting it. And so we kind of reiterated a few times with him, like, hey, you need to be cautious with this one. Something's not right. We have a gut feeling on it. And that's another thing, is trust your gut on these transactions. There's been so many times that our gut just says walk away, and that's what you do. Our gut was at that moment not saying walk away, but it was saying definitely like be extra cautious, right? We said, okay, well, let's at least have you get a PPI done by a professional mechanic. They were right by, the seller was right by a Ferrari dealer, so that made sense to just hire Ferrari to do it and not ship us out there, because we were going to cost more, than Ferrari. So he arranges this PPI, and it was a car that was in Florida. Well, hurricane came, kind of delayed the PPI by like a week or two. Hurricane passes, and he's about to actually go fly down and see the car, and of course get the PPI done like the next day after he flies down. So he calls the dealer to just kind of confirm stuff, make sure everything's good. By the way, like, he had asked, can he put down a deposit like 2 weeks prior or whatever, and all that stuff, and the dealer said, we don't do deposits, which I find very strange. As a dealer, how do you help people who are remote? How do you get someone to lock in so that they feel comfortable arranging flights, coming to see the car, doing PPIs or whatever? Like, basically, the deposits are for the buyer's benefit, not for the dealer's benefit. Like, we offer deposits because we want to help you if you need some time to get things sorted, flying out to see the car, arranging an inspection, those sorts of things. That's the purpose of deposit. Getting your finances together, buying you some time, because otherwise we're going to keep trying to sell the car. Well, and that's what the dealer did. He kept trying to sell the car because he refused to deposit. So the gentleman contacts the dealer, is ready to fly down like the next day, and they're like, oh, well, actually, we have another buyer who wants to pay cash tomorrow morning, and so we want to take this other deal and all this other stuff. He calls us in a panic. What do I do? Do I quickly rush the deal? Do I buy it before I see it? Do I fly down there and buy it in the morning? What do I do? And it kind of got to the point where, like, the car already kind of has this weird sketchy history. There's questions about the car. The dealer hasn't really answered these questions in ways that we thought were like typical. They kind of skirted the questions. So we're like, it's honestly, this is for us time to go, like time to move on, get a different car. And we really pushed that point home with our client. So they're like, let me think about it and I'll get back to you guys. So they get back to us and he says, you know what? I think you guys are right. I actually found another car and it happens to be very close to him. So I'm going to go look at this other car today and then see how it is and get back to you guys. In the meantime, can you look at this other car and let me know it's good? So we said, sure. So we go and check out this other car, and this other car has like no questions, no history, no concerns, right? We're like, this is a much better option in our opinion. Fast forward to the next day, he contacts us. He says, hey, I'm going back to the dealer to buy the car that's here local. I told the guy in Florida basically to piss off. The deal fell through. I have no more interest in it. And at that point, he's like, I just really wanted to thank you because clearly my emotions had clouded my judgment. I had gotten emotionally attached to that car, that first one, and I really wanted it. And so I was trying to make the deal happen, even though you guys had presented facts. We had presented facts to him that made sense that probably should not buy this car. And so the fact that we kind of beat him up on it and drove that point home, because again, we're not emotionally attached to it. We're trying to do what's best for our client. We're acting on his behalf. He paid us to act on his behalf. And so that's what we're doing. He's like, thank you, because you saved me the hassle and headache that car could have presented. And he ended up buying this other car. And honestly, I think the other car was a better price, better options. It's a better car. It worked out. So that's why I'm saying you guys should try and find someone that, again, it doesn't have to be us. If you have a friend who knows cars really well, have them be that person, that soundbox you can bounce things off of, because having an independent person who's not tied to the transaction financially, or is not tied to benefit from the transaction if it goes through, is a good thing. They can provide a more unbiased opinion, present more facts, and poke holes in what you're trying to do if it doesn't make sense. And that's what we do. Like, we've done hundreds of these. So when people pay us, we are trying to do what's best for the client. We're not doing what's best for us, because we make the same amount of money whether or not you buy the car, right? So we don't care. Like, I don't care if you buy the car or not, but I do care because I want you to get a good car and I want you to be happy, because then we establish a positive relationship, and hopefully you'll buy more stuff from us, maybe parts or services or another car in the future or whatever. And of course you're thinking, well, you're a dealer. Doesn't that make it so that you want to have people buy your cars? Well, yes. So if someone's trying to buy one of our cars, obviously we're biased towards our car. In those cases, we can't really do, we don't offer consultations on our cars. We will obviously talk to you about our cars and present our data about our car, but in those cases you probably need to talk to someone else and bounce ideas off of them. Are we presenting a good deal for you? I don't know. Of course I'm gonna think so. Right? My whole point of this is find an unbiased third party to help you out with these supercar transactions. It does make a difference, and sometimes it can save you from a transaction that maybe didn't make the most sense. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Check out normalguysupercar.com. There you can hire us for consultations, buy parts and services from us, and of course our dealership NG Supercars, where we sell supercars. We do appreciate you guys' support. We'll see you in the next video. We're doing a lot of cool car stuff. You're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.